Carla Nicole. So, I wanted to talk about something that I think is very important for men to think about. Not going to be on here very long, um, but I am going to give you something to really be mindful about when you are deciding that you want to go ahead and be intentional in a relationship with a woman. See, intentional relationships, they usually they usually have their ups and their downs. Of course, we have a lot of different phases we go through in relationships. But I want you to realize that in order to be in a solid love affair, in order to have a relationship that's going to be long lasting, it is essential and without a doubt that there's certain things that a woman must have in order to sustain in the relationship. So, I'm going to talk tonight about the importance of a woman being in pursuit of her purpose. Now, you may not think that that's very important. It may have never even dawned on you how important that a woman is in pursuit of her purpose, but it is essential, my love. The reason that this is important is a woman that is not aware or sure or even curious to know why she's on the planet has a very idle mind, okay? And when the mind is idle, that means that the mind can be filled with all kinds of things unhealthy in your relationship. So be very aware that it is key that when you are seeking to be in a love affair and a relationship with a woman, that she is in pursuit of her purpose, that she's trying to learn about why she is here. Now, the reason why this is important isn't just because that sounds good or that's cliche, that's a great cliche to follow behind. No, it's huge. Whenever you look at how buildings are built, you do notice that you can't just build a building without getting the ground prepared and solid first before you put a building on it. So that also is important in a love affair. When you are deciding to grow a relationship with a woman, you want to be mindful that she has a desire to learn why she's here. And the reason that that's so important is when a woman is aware of why she's here and what she's here to do, she's number one, less complicated and complex and less suffocating and less in desire of wanting your attention. See, men don't understand that normally attention seeking women or suffocating women or women constantly wanting to be all in your face and have all of your time and all of that is off. That's not normal, first of all. And yes, when we're young and excited and we want to be in a relationship and we're in love and all that stuff, that's common. Yes. However, it's not healthy and it isn't going to be essential for a love affair to be long lasting. You want to see if a woman is in pursuit of her purpose because when she knows that, guess what? She knows why she's here. And in that, it is going to help you to now be able to build what you're trying to build for the you and her And you now have a clear understanding of who you are going to build with. See, gentlemen, you haven't been told this. You haven't been encouraged to understand. It is so important that the woman you choose to be in a relationship with knows her purpose. It may be fine that you get along. It may be nice that you make good love and you have great rapport with each other and you guys have similar lifestyles and backgrounds and you want certain things out of life that's similar and all of those things that's oftentimes encouraged by us through societal norms or because other people have it or whatever, what have you, or, social media. There's all kinds of incentives to be in a relationship. But the truth of the matter is that when you're wanting something long lasting, it's going to require something more to keep a woman afloat. Listen to me. A woman that does not know her purpose cannot be psychologically, spiritually sound and present in the moment, because when you're not in your purpose, you're not able to be in the now, in real time in life. You know where people are when they're not in purpose? Most of the time, those people are either in yesterday or they're lodged and locked in fantasy and hopes and dreams. And unfortunately, they can't be anywhere else. Most relationships that have solid solidity and they have endurance and they have something to work with comes from having purpose. Here's what's true. It is okay to have fantasy and to have desires and things of that nature. We're all human and we should definitely have those types of things to where we have, you know, a desire to go to the next level. Problem is that if we don't have purpose and we're unsure as to why we're here, what happens is many things can infringe upon our idle mind. Our mind becomes idle when we're not in focus of getting done what we're here to do and while we're here. So, the idle mind can be easily influenced. Hence, this is how you can become an alcoholic. This is how you can become addicted to porn. This is how you can become addicted to drugs. You can become addicted to all kinds of things because the mind is idle. Purpose keeps the mind busy on being purposeful while we're here, doing what we need to do. And we're not oftentimes bored or waste time or just doing God knows what with God knows who. No, when you're purposeful, you know exactly what you're doing and who you're doing it with. And you don't waste time. And very seldom are you bored. I can't think of the last time I was bored for whatever reason. I'm always busy, always focusing, always here. Every breath I take is because of my purpose. And I know that. But going to get there right away. So I don't want you to get discouraged, gentlemen, that if you do come in contact with a woman that you like and you're moved by, that's fine and well. She may not know her purpose. Okay, I get it. Not everybody knows their purpose in their age, in their younger years or whatever, what have you. However, my concern then would be to ask, are they inquisitive about their purpose? Because see, here's what it is. When you don't know purpose and when you don't have any type of curiosity whatsoever about your purpose, then you're just going to do things that's pleasurable. You're going to do things that's trendy. You're going to do things that the masses do. You're going to be encouraged and moved by what you see and compare your life to everything else and all of those things. And when you're talking about building a life with a woman intentionally, you're going to want to know that she is aware of why she's here. Here's why I tell you it's important and essential. Because a woman that has her purpose, 9 times out of 10, is able to master her own emotions. She's able to make decisions. Gentlemen, you don't want a woman in your life, a primary woman in your life, not able to make decisions. And unfortunately, when a woman is not purposeful, her decision making is usually pretty off. Actually, it's probably non existent. Unfortunately, a lot of decisions that are made are on a whim, or a lot of things happen by happenstance. And that's dangerous because you're talking about if you want to be in a love affair and in a relationship, you want some type of solidity. And in that solidity, you want to make sure that the woman knows why she's here and what she's here to do. Here's what's true. Men, you need to be honest with yourself. When you're with a woman and she's your girlfriend, that's only one range of understanding that you have of her before you engage her to be your fiance, or before you decide to move in together and become full-time partners, right? So there is only one scope that you have of her before you move things into a more intentional way. However, if you're not sure about her understanding of herself and her understanding of who she is and what she wants to become and what she wants to do, or she's in pursuit of her purpose, if she's unsure about that, then you may want to not consider right away going into the next phase of your relationship. And even if the pressure is on, 9 times out of 10, most relationships are highly pushed and rushed to go into a marriage or to go and make it solid or go and to make it whatever. And the rushing usually causes there to be a lot of mistakes made, a lot of things unseen, a lot of things that you're unsure of, but you're just jumping into it because you really are feeling pressured to make someone in the next phase of your relationship without really knowing if they are really ideal for that. There's nothing wrong with taking your time. Gentlemen, be mindful. It's very important that you take the time to really sit down and see, wait a minute, before I start rushing and running into this relationship, let me make sure this woman has her purpose under control, or if she's at least looking to see, am I wanting a purpose, or I'm sorry, do I know my purpose? Am I in pursuit of my purpose? It's important. We need to make sure that we are looking at these things, because if we don't, what happens is, gentlemen, you will go ahead and move your relationship along, and then you will upgrade it into a more solid one-on-one relationship, whether it's fiance, move in, whatever you're going to do. And in doing so, okay, here's where it gets difficult, is once pressures of life starts to take place and there starts to become pressures of decisions that need to be made, you'll start to notice that, oh no, she's having a hard time making decisions. Yeah. The reason why there's a hard time with decision making is because there hasn't been a pursuit to find out why she's here. and what she's here to do. See, here's the final thought for this evening. I always say we mistakenly ask children this question. We ask them, what do you want to be when you grow up? And I feel that is such a disservice to children to only want to think about what role or career do they want to pursue when they're young, based upon what they see. Do you want to be a cop? Do you want to be a fireman? Do you want to be a secretary? Do you want to be a teacher? They have such a limited scope as to what they see in roles at such a young age. And then we as adults pressure children and ask them, what do you want to be when you grow up? We are steering the children in the wrong direction because we're giving them the scope of career to look at as to being while they're in, mind you, they're already here. So what do they want to be shouldn't even be a question. They already are. But okay, if we're going to do that, we're asking them, what do you want to be when you grow up? With this much scope of understanding of what being means, right? So most of the time in the early phases of love, we only know our lover to know themselves as their pursuit of career or pursuit of college degree is their focus, right? We don't really know our purpose yet. But then we want to stack on obligations, responsibilities. We want to be one-on-one and only with each other. And we have to have a relationship, and then we're going to have a family. And we're rushing and escalating so much stuff so quickly. And yet we're not being honest with paying attention to the fact that, yeah, we have those questions that we're asking, but that's a limited scope that we're giving a child to deem as what they should be pursuing. My answer used to be veterinarian because I liked animals. Didn't know any real true scope of understanding that just because you liked animals doesn't mean that you are fit or your purpose is for you to be a veterinarian. It doesn't mean that just because you liked animals at a young age that that's what you want or that's what you should be in pursuit to become. But again, until we know what our purpose is and until we encourage our children to know what to look for in themselves, not out here at what they see as careers to being their point of reference. However, they need to look inwardly and see what their gifts and talents are. When you look inside you and you end up knowing what your gifts and talents are by your natural gifts, what you're born with, what you're good at, that's how you can start knowing what your purpose is. Your purpose comes from your gifts, your inborn talents. You already are. You don't have to become anything. You are. So I hate the question asking children, what do you want to be when you grow up? I feel like it is such a disservice. And we're just messing up so many young minds to limiting the roles that they see versus looking inwardly and seeing what their gifts and serious talents are to begin with. So, it is important and vital that we encourage our person that we're in a relationship with, man. The woman that you're involved with. Here's what I want you to consider. Encouraging her to look inward. Encourage her to find her human talents. If you don't already see them inside her yourself, then tell her she should be looking for them. Because, my love, those are essential for love affairs. When your lover, when your woman knows what she's good at, when she's, and I'll give you a clue. For instance, just say, for instance, your girl is good at cooking. And for the longest, she's told all the time, listen, that is delicious. You make the most amazing lasagna I ever had. I love it. And she says, which a lot of them say, she says, oh, thanks, but it's nothing. I just threw it together. It's nothing. It's something. No, it's something, as an example. Or if she can just write, she writes plays, and she's I'm talking about, her plays are dynamic. She brings, I'm talking about just reality to the stage, and she's amazing with it. And you look at her and you're like, girl, you are amazing at this. And she's like, oh, I'm just doing it with the kids. It's no big deal. No, it is. That's your human talent. You're doing it by nature, right? Okay, so when you're doing it by nature, that's fine. However, your gifts and your talents can be the pointer to your purpose. Men, do not wife or upgrade a woman that is not in pursuit of her purpose. She does not know why she's here. Please do not do that. I'm not saying not to continue dating her or having her in your life. That's not what I'm saying. But I am saying you don't want to settle down and get all involved and have kids and get all wrapped up into a woman until that woman is in pursuit of her purpose, and until she wants to really incentivize understanding who she is as a woman. Otherwise, you are going to have a basket case on your hands. I am warning you now, it's going to be a mess, because a woman without her purpose won't be emotionally sound. We get more emotionally sound when we know our purpose, when we know what we're here to do, when we understand ourselves. We can better understand you as a woman. I have no problem with understanding a man because I understand myself. I have no problem with a man being in pursuit of his passion, of his wanting to build something, of his vision. I have no problem with understanding that and encouraging that and being a part of that, because I myself have my own vision and my own understanding of purpose and why I'm here. So guess what? It's not hard for me to be able to be merged with a man, a visionary, a man on purpose, a man who's devoted to his life wanting to make some stuff happen. That's not hard for me. And it's not hard for any woman that's got her purpose, because she's well aware of why she's here, my love. No one else is going to tell you this, because everybody wants to tell you, oh, where's she getting her degree? Oh, where does she work? Oh, what does it matter? There's a lot of talented people out here. I'm talking talented people, okay? Amazing, talented people, but they're not in their purpose at all. Um, as an example, there's a lot of childhood TV stars. When I was young and growing up, we had a lot of kid stars. Yes, kids. They were successful by 13, maybe 14. Millionaires, had mansions and homes and all of that. But they didn't have their purpose down pat. But they had their talent, yes. However, they were incentivized early on to be able to do what they're told to do. And so, when you're told to do certain things, that's what you become. It doesn't necessarily mean that's what you were supposed to be doing. So I'm trying to help you to see, yes, it's fine to have a love affair. It is great. Yes. However, if you choose a woman and she is not in her purpose, my love, you are going to find yourself in a bind, because not only that, she is now going to make you her life. Did you hear me? Did you hear me? She is going to make you her life. So now what she eats, drinks, sleeps, thinks about is you. Do you know how overly exhausted you will be when a woman is demanding you to keep her happy? Purpose takes care of that. I don't need anyone else to make me happy. Are you kidding me? No. I don't need anybody else to make me feel fulfilled or make me feel I matter or anything like that. I don't need that. But if what men are missing is you want a woman that is whole in herself, and her wholeness comes from her very understanding of who she is, her very understanding of why she's here and what she's here to do. And as you see how much she moves and does certain things, you will find yourself more moved by her talent, her inborn abilities to become her highest level of self. A woman that is in pursuit of her purpose and knows her purpose normally has a very high level of self-love. When a woman loves herself, she loves others without a shadow of a doubt, to a different level that you probably can ever imagine. But nobody's going to tell you this. Nobody's going to sit you down and tell you. It's very important for you to make sure the woman that you're in pursuit of and that you desire to be with and that you procreate with and have children with and build a life with and do certain things with should know her purpose. They're not going to tell you that. That's unheard of. They're going to ask you everything else that doesn't matter. Has a degree, so what? Has a career, so what? Has pretty looks, so what? Gets along great with you, so what? Comes from a good family, so what? All of those things are nice, but all of those things aren't going to be as substantial as that woman having her purpose. Now, when she has that, everything is different, because now you're building your life with your lover, with your woman, not on quicksand. When you are in a relationship with a woman that does not have her purpose and doesn't know herself and doesn't have enough self-love, her self-love is insufficient because she's not even deep diving to know who she is and what she's here to do. If you have a woman that does not have those things in place, guess what? You're running a higher risk of not having a solid relationship, because that woman can't really be a solid fiance, be a solid wife, be a solid girlfriend for real, because she can only be as phenomenal as she can be based upon her purpose. Yes, she can have a career. Yes, she can get raises. Yes, she can have a decent job. She can make decent money. All of that can happen. Yes. She can even have a substantial amount of money coming in. Absolutely. Yes. But it doesn't mean she's fulfilled. It doesn't mean she's fulfilled. When a woman isn't fulfilled, I'm talking about her being isn't fulfilled in her wholeness, a lot of lack can cause an idle mind. An idle mind can be seduced. An idle mind can be seduced. An idle mind can get caught up in pleasure and excitement and all of that stuff that's as you know what that is. It can be overwhelming. So when you have a mind that is okay and more solid and in pursuit of purpose and understands why they are here, they're less likely to get caught up in seduction, in alcoholism, in drug addiction, in sex and porn, and all these things that can cause you to go way left to center. And now you're in this relationship with this woman that wasn't purposeful, and now she is all over the place. And now you're trying to figure out what happened. Well, when you don't have your purpose already set, you're susceptible to getting swooped up and caught up in pleasure. Pleasure comes from those people. Listen, gentlemen, we get easily swooped up by other people, especially. So let's just bring this out here for a second. Women, oftentimes, we love to brag. We love to brag about our man and what our man's doing and how amazing our life is and all this stuff. We love to brag, right? We love to brag and talk about this and talk about that. However, when you're purposeful, you're busy. So guess what you're not doing? You're not gossiping. You're not spending time comparing your life to someone else's life when you're purposeful. Those are just things you're not doing. You're not wasting time. I say all the time, I don't waste time. I don't play about my time, period. When it comes down to it, if I need to get something done, I will do it. But I don't waste time just to sit there and just let time just pass me by. No. And you shouldn't want a woman that wastes time. You shouldn't want a woman that gets easily swooped up by trends and compares her life to everybody else. Those are indicators, my love. She's not in her purpose. Gossipy women, they're not in their purpose. Women all swooped up in trends and wants to have everything that everybody else has and wants to keep up with the Joneses. They don't have their purpose. There's no contentment in life because they don't have the purpose. Okay? I hope I helped somebody this evening. I'm your coach, Carla Nicole. Get a hold to me. My website is smileandsip.com. You want a one-on-one with me? It's nothing but a word. 45 minutes for $75. That is it. And you and I can conversate. We can figure out, okay, is your woman purposeful? Well, I don't know if she's purposeful or not. Well, get a hold to me. We can assess that. I know how to assess if a purpose is being pursued or not, or if they're just trying to be in pursuit of what societal norm is. There is two different pathways, you know. I could still be in pursuit of being a veterinarian. And listen, it would not be good because I am not a veterinarian. I'm not. That's what I wanted to be in 4th grade. Matter of fact, I had a bestie. Her and I both wanted to be veterinarians. Now, she did go and become a dog groomer. So she did go along the line of, you know, being the animal lover we were at the time. She went into that. And she did pursue her purpose, and she is in her purpose. So guess what? I love it. Love her. Matter of fact, she called me today. Listen, I'm very excited that her and I both had the same ideal, but I was only aware of that as being a cool thing. Plus, she was my bestie. So at that time, at 4th grade, yeah, I love dogs. Yes. Well, it's not just dogs you take care of as a veterinarian. I'm very sorry, ma'am. So guess what I had to do? Well, I had to change some things up, right? She did too, because she's not a veterinarian. She's a dog groomer. She specifically loved dogs. So she decided to do what she wanted to do and specialized in her way to do what she wanted to do. I'm showing you guys why it's important that you pay attention to when we're talking to young people, or when we're in our young love affairs, or even when we're in the beginning stages of our love affairs. We have to get beyond what feels good and how wonderful it is at first. We have to pay attention and know, gentlemen, take note. The woman that you want to be with must be in pursuit of her purpose. It's most ideal if she knows her purpose. But if she's in pursuit of her purpose, that is good. If you're not too sure, then pay attention to, like what I said earlier. Pay attention to her gifts and talents. Okay? All right. I'm out of here, guys. Like I said, reach me at smileandsip.com, or you can call me at my 800 number, 844-5-WISDOM, extension 0, and get your session. Because if you're choosing lovers and they're just not seeming to last, most likely it's because they don't know their purpose. And then don't fret or frown upon the fact that maybe you don't know your purpose either. And that's okay. Let's just come up with being in pursuit. Let's look for it. Let's see why we're not in purpose and get busy. It's very important. Make sure you share this video. Subscribe to my channel also. Don't forget to subscribe. It's very important. Subscribe, and hit the little bell also, because the bell will help you to be notified when I go live. I don't know when I'm going live. When I'm moved, or when I feel that something needs to be talked about and shared, I will definitely make sure to let you know I'm going live. So make sure you share this video. I'm telling you, it is so important. Men, don't hesitate. Don't hesitate to call me. Don't hesitate to reach out and get a one-on-one with me. 45 minutes, smileandsip.com. Do not hesitate, because I'm telling you, it is well worth 45 minutes of your time for $75 to sit down and talk to me about if she's in her purpose or not. So we can assess she's someone you can go ahead and grow with, or she's someone you maybe want to pump the brakes a little bit on and start to get a little more intentional with helping her to get intentional with being in pursuit of her purpose. You got what I'm saying? I could be your asset in your back pocket. How about that? Okay, guys, I'm out of here. So make sure you share this video. I'm out of here. I appreciate everybody for showing up. It's your coach, Carla Nicole. I'm signing off. Best kept. Good night.